My beloved child, in this world that grows colder each day and drifts further from the light, I have placed within your heart something priceless, my own will. I did not give it to you to burden or frighten you, but to ignite you as a torch in the night, to call you forth as one who will stand in the gap for the lost and the wandering. I have seen within you a willing heart, a soul soft enough to feel the pain of others, and strong enough to remain standing when the earth trembles. And now, I ask you this: are you ready to stand in the place of those who do not yet know they need saving? My child, the calling I place upon you is not light. It is the path of those who dare to leave comfort behind to walk alongside me in the work of redemption. This path may be lonely. It may be filled with mocking voices, slanderous words, and the stares of doubt. The world will not easily receive you, for the light you carry exposes the darkness it longs to keep hidden. You will be misunderstood, judged, even abandoned by the very ones you love. But, oh my child, you will never be abandoned by me. In every step, even when it seems you are walking alone, I am there going before you to open the way, standing beside you to strengthen you, and behind you to guard you. Persecution will come, and it will not be comfortable. It will not only be the external trials, but the deep inner wrestlings. You will face the hardest questions of your soul. Why me? Why does this pain remain? Am I strong enough to go on? And in those moments when all is silent, when no one seems to understand, I want you to remember, I told you these things beforehand, so that you would not be surprised, not stumble, not be shaken. For all who love my name must pass through the fire. But it is the fire that purifies the gold, and the trials that reveal true faith. Blessed are those who are persecuted for my name's sake. Do you hear that? My child, it is not rejection, but blessing. It is not loss, but a reward being stored for you in eternity. The kingdom of heaven does not belong to those who choose convenience, but to those who are faithful in the little and courageous in the great. Your tears are not in vain. Every time you prayed silently for someone, every time you chose not to return hatred for hatred, I have seen it all. And I remember, do not fear those who can only harm the body, for they cannot touch the most precious part of you, your soul, the dwelling place where I have made my home. This body will pass away, but your soul is eternal. Do not let the fear of what is temporary rob you of the preparation for what is everlasting. Fear me, your Father, for I am the one who holds your future. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the one who sees all, knows all, and reigns over all. When you place your trust in me, you do not walk aimlessly upon the earth. You walk as one chosen, fulfilling a divine mission prepared for you since the foundation of the world. Trust in me, my beloved child, not only in times of peace, but especially in the storms. Trust me when you do not understand, when things become unclear, when your emotions are weary and your soul feels lost. I do not promise that you will never suffer, but I promise that no pain you endure will be in vain. I do not promise that others will always understand you, but I promise that I understand you, and I will uphold you through every step of the journey you walk. You are not fighting alone. You are not standing in the gap for lost souls by your own strength. It is my Holy Spirit who will fill you with wisdom, strength, and compassion. Even when your prayer is but a sigh in the midst of tears, my Spirit is interceding for you with groanings too deep for words. And it is in those very moments when you feel most fragile that my power is made perfect in you. So, My child, take heart and keep moving forward. Keep loving even when it hurts. Keep standing in the gap for those who have turned their backs on the light. For perhaps it is your prayer that will open a path for their return. Keep obeying even when no one understands you. Because I understand, keep bearing my name without shame. For on the final day, I will proclaim your name before the angels in heaven. You were not chosen to live an easy life. You were chosen to live a life of eternal purpose. And that, my child, is more precious than anything this world could ever offer. For soon, when all false lights fade and every earthly promise dissolves, only one thing will remain: my everlasting love and the reward prepared for those who remain faithful to the end. My beloved child, in this world, there are things operating in the darkness that your eyes cannot see. It is not only the surface-level events or crises you read about in the news, but hidden waves, covert schemes of the enemy, silently manipulating thoughts, stealing peace, and planting sweet-sounding fear under the disguise of false freedom. These forces do not sleep. They operate constantly, not through loud violence, but through whispers that weave into human thoughts, emotions, and choices. They do not need to push you off a cliff in a moment. They only need you to drift slightly from the truth each day, step by step, until one day you can no longer recognize how far you've strayed from the light. But my child, I have not left you to walk blind in this world. I did not create you, only to abandon you in a maze of deception. I have given you discernment, a holy gift, not given to all, but to those who seek me with a humble heart. This discernment does not come from sharp intellect or worldly knowledge, but from my Spirit who dwells within you, who knows all that hides in the dark and brings to light what is true. When you listen to His voice, when you walk in obedience, you will know what is real and what is only a mask painted by falsehood. You can no longer rely on your emotions or logic in these times, for both are easily swayed by the tides of the age. You need a firmer foundation, a light that never changes. That is me. That is my word. That is the true life breathed into you by my Spirit. If you do not walk closely with me, you will be easily swept up by the noise of the world, by conflicting opinions, public sentiment, and the ever-shifting winds of human hearts. And once you lose your intimate connection with me, you will begin to lose direction, until slowly, you will no longer recognize my loving voice amidst the chaos. The days ahead will not be easy. The darkness will grow thicker. Things you once counted as certain will shatter. People you once trusted may leave you. The shaking will reach every level, every corner, and no one will be able to stand unless their foundation is true. Many will collapse, not because they are weak, but because their trust was placed in the wrong things. They built their lives on sand, on reputation, wealth, relationships, and worldly systems, all things that can be swept away in a single storm. They believed they were secure because of the walls around them, but they didn't know the foundation had long been cracked. And when the storm comes, all they built will fall, because it was not anchored to the rock. My child, I call you not to be like them. I call you to build the house of your heart upon me, the unshakable rock. When you lay every brick of your life upon my word, you are not building by your strength, but by heavenly wisdom. That house may not dazzle the eyes of the world, but it will stand firm when the skies grow dark and the winds howl with fury. For true endurance does not come from appearances, but from what lies beneath the foundation. I do not promise a life without storms, but I do promise that if you remain in me, you will not be swept away. I do not promise a life free from trials, but I promise that in every trial, I will hold your hand, lift you when you are weary, and wipe your tears when you are exhausted. And above all, I will use the very storms to show you this truth. The foundation you choose matters more than anything. My Spirit does not come only to empower, but to warn, to guide, and to lead you into all truth. You do not have to grope in the dark. You carry within you a lamp that will never go out unless you cover it yourself. But the condition is this: you must walk closely with me. You must learn to be silent before me, to discern my voice amidst the noise. You must long for truth more than comfort, for truth may wound for a moment, but it will set you free. Meanwhile, the comfort offered by darkness only lulls the soul into sleep until it no longer knows it is sinking. My child, be awake, be courageous. Choose to build your life not on emotions or circumstances, but on the one who never changes. When all that is unstable is swept away, only that which is eternal will remain, and I long that on that day you will stand firm, witness the fruit of your faithfulness, and hear me say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. Enter into the joy of your master." I love you. I believe in you, and I will never stop leading you. But you must listen. You must choose every day either to walk in the truth or be swept along by the current of the world. You can no longer remain in between. That time is past. Now is the time for decision. Walk closely with me, and you will not lose your way. For no matter how thick the darkness becomes, my light will always be enough to lead you to the end of the road where unshakable glory awaits you. My beloved child, in the rushing current of time that grows more urgent by the day, I have placed a mission in your hands not because you are stronger than others, nor because you are perfect, but because your heart has been softened to my call. You are my hands and feet in this world, a world chasing after illusions, where love is distorted, truth is suppressed, and light is mistaken for darkness. In this swirl of deceit and confusion, I have chosen you to go, to speak, to love, and to awaken. I did not choose you to sit safely in personal comfort. I send you out like a flame in the night, a whisper among the noise, a hand extended to a generation collapsing in confusion. You must proclaim my love, a love that does not change, does not waver, does not wear out, no matter how many turn away, betray, or grow cold. That love is the reason you are still standing today. It is the source of your strength, the wellspring that never runs dry, even in the driest deserts of the soul. Tell them that I love them not because they deserve it, but because I am love. But my child, love is not only tender affection. True love must also warn when destruction draws near. I call you not only to carry the good news of grace and mercy, but also a sacred warning. Judgment is coming. A world that turns its back on the light, rejects truth, and insists on its own way cannot stand forever. I cannot ignore sin, for righteousness is an inseparable part of who I am. That righteousness demands a reckoning, a moment when all that is hidden will be brought into the light, and every soul must face the consequences of their own choice. You must speak, even when your words are not received. You must be brave, even when silence would be easier. You must love, even when it costs you. Because you do not speak for yourself, you speak for me. Your voice is my voice in this world. And when you speak, trembling and small, though you may feel, I will make it echo in the hearts of those who are searching for a way out, though they do not yet know it. I do not desire for anyone to perish. I did not create them for destruction. On the contrary, I paid the price with the life of my only son, so that each one might have the chance to return. But I will not force anyone to choose me. True love does not coerce. True love gives freedom to choose. Every person must decide a decision of eternal weight, a decision that cannot be delayed forever. And my child, the time to decide is running out. Each passing day draws closer to the appointed hour. The door of grace is still open, but it will not remain open forever. When the rain begins to fall, the ark cannot be sealed. When the trumpet sounds, there is no time to fetch more oil for the lamp. So I send you not to carry a burden of fear, but to carry life, not to panic, but to walk with wisdom and full awareness of the times. You are my hands and feet, the one to whom I have entrusted authority not to dominate, but to serve. You were sent not because of your reputation, not because of your position, but because of your faithfulness, and you will see when you dare to obey in the smallest things. I will open doors for you to stand in places you never even dreamed of. You will see my words in your mouth can alter a destiny, rescue a soul from destruction, and bring light into a place that seemed lifeless and forsaken. My child, do not underestimate your voice. Do not believe you are not good enough, not strong enough, not trustworthy enough, for it is in your very weakness that my power is made perfect. It is precisely when you say, I cannot, that I will say, I will. I will place my words upon your lips, compassion within your eyes, and courage into your trembling hands. And then, you yourself will become a living testimony of love, of grace, and of truth. Go forth, my child. Walk in the boldness that I myself have placed in you. Carry the fire that never fades within your soul. Let my presence be the armor you wear each day. And remember, you never walk alone. I go before you. I walk beside you, and I follow behind you to shield you from harm. For you are my hands and feet. And this world is waiting, longing for footsteps that dare to bring hope into its darkest corners. I trust you. I have chosen you, and I will walk with you to the very end. The Father is waiting for you. Your eternal home is waiting for you, and the reward that never fades is waiting for you. So, my child, keep walking, not with heaviness, but with hope, not with eyes cast down, but with your gaze lifted toward heaven. For you do not belong to this world, you belong to me. And very soon, you will come home, my beloved child. In this short earthly journey, there will be choices you must make, choices that will not only shape your present, but define the eternity of your soul. For the path that leads to the eternal home I have prepared for you is not paved with ease or compromise, but with sacrifice, service, and wholehearted devotion to the eternal kingdom of your Father, things that far surpass the boundaries of time, material gain, and fleeting glory the world has to offer. My child, I have not called you to live a life of mediocrity. I did not create you to pass through this life in safety, silence, and without leaving a mark. I formed you for something far greater, to be a light in the darkness, to let your life become a living canvas that reflects my love and truth. But in order to do that, you must have the courage to walk a different path, a path not shaped by the crowd, not ruled by instinct, but guided by truth, by the Holy Spirit, and by a desire to live for what never fades away. You often ask me, how can I live for eternity when I still have to carry so many responsibilities and burdens in this world? And today, I want to answer you clearly. You live for eternity when you live each day with heaven in mind. When your eyes are not fixed only on what is now, but on what is to come on heaven, where the true reward awaits those who remain faithful. When you refuse to be swept up in the whirlwind of worldly ambition, and instead choose to live with the awareness that everything you do today echoes in eternity. My child, investing in my kingdom does not require you to be impressive in the eyes of the world. I am not looking for grand displays. I am searching for hearts that know how to love, to give, and to be faithful in the small things. When you choose forgiveness instead of holding on to bitterness, you are laying a stone in the eternal house I am building with you. When you love someone unconditionally, when you pause to listen to a broken soul, when you lift the weary and speak life to the hopeless, you are investing in what no time nor decay can destroy the soul of another human being. You are also working for eternity when you cultivate relationships sincerely and with purpose, not through shallow conversations, but through presence full of love and truth. When you live not to impress, but to plant seeds of hope, that is when you reflect me. For I am the one who draws near to the brokenhearted, who hears the quietest cries of the lonely. And I rejoice greatly when I see you becoming the extension of my comforting hand. You contribute to my kingdom every time you preach the gospel, not only with words, but through the testimony of your life. When you live differently in a world that chooses selfishness, when you choose honesty in an age of deception, when you dare to do what is right, even at a cost, when you are unashamed of your faith, then your life becomes a silent yet powerful symphony that proclaims to the world that there still remains a light, a truth, a love that never changes. And my child, when you pour out your heart in devotion, not for recognition, but out of pure love for me, that is when you are truly laboring for the house that will never rot or decay. These acts may seem small in the eyes of others, but they are pure gold in mine. I do not measure by scale. I look at the heart, and where there is sincere love, where there is hidden sacrifice, there I dwell. And the reward prepared for you will surpass anything you could ever imagine. This road will not be easy. There will be days when you feel tired, times when you doubt, moments when it feels like you're swimming against the current. But remember, my child, you are not walking alone. I am walking with you, watching over every step, and I have prepared for you a place where there are no more tears, no more pain, where you will hear me say with joy, "Well done, good and faithful servant. Enter into the joy of your master." As in, so, my child, live with your eyes fixed on eternity, with a heart open to the things of my kingdom, and with hands willing to do even the smallest good. For every seed you sow today will rise as something you will meet again in eternity. Your glorious home is not built with the jewels of this world, but with love, obedience, devotion, and unshakable trust in me. I believe in you. I see how hard you're trying each day. And I want to remind you, everything you do for my kingdom, no matter how small, is never in vain. Because you are not living for what passes. You are living for what never ends. You are living for the kingdom that cannot be shaken. You are living for my house. And that is the most beautiful part of your story. My beloved child, amid the countless voices of this world, amidst the rush and swirl of passing ambitions, so many have forgotten a foundational truth, that this present life is not the final destination, but merely the beginning, the overture of an eternal song that will echo through forever. People become fixated on short-term gain, chasing what can be touched, measured, and accumulated, unaware that every action, every choice, every word from their lips is a seed being planted, a seed that will either blossom into eternal life or wither away like dust in the desert wind. My child, I did not create you to live as if today is all there is. I did not breathe life into you so that you would walk through this world unaware that your soul is destined for another place, a place where there is no darkness, no more tears, where all good things are made complete in everlasting glory. But to reach that place, you cannot live aimlessly. You cannot waste your time, your strength, your heart, and your faith on what will vanish when the final trumpet sounds. Every moment that passes is an opportunity not just to gain experience, not just to build achievements, but a chance to plant eternal seeds, words of love, acts of forgiveness, steps of humility, silent tears of intercession for others. None of these are ever lost. They are recorded, remembered, gathered like precious gems, shaping the reward that awaits you in my house. But if you choose to live only for the now, if you pour your entire life into what is passing, then on the final day, all that you cling to today will slip through your hands like sand through your fingers. I do not want to see you reach the end of your life with a heart full of regret. I do not want to see your eyes filled with confusion as you look back and realize you spent your youth, your intellect, your breath-building kingdoms that last only for a moment, only to watch them crumble in an instant when the storm of eternity arrives. The things you try to hold on to today, wealth, status, praise from others, will not follow you into eternity. They will not defend you before my throne. They cannot buy a single moment of peace for your soul when you stand before true light. I do not want you to come to me with empty hands, not because I need what you do, but because I know what truly lasts. I know that there is a glory reserved for those who live with heaven's vision. I know that every time you choose truth over flesh, love over indifference, humility over pride, service over entitlement, you are sending treasure ahead to the place you truly belong. My beloved, you were not created merely to survive, but to bear fruit, not to build houses on sand, but to lay foundations on the rock that is me. I want you to live with a wise heart, one that knows how to distinguish between what is fleeting and what is eternal. I want you to understand that nothing in this life is too small if it is done out of love. A sincere word, a compassionate gaze, a shared meal, a quiet prayer, these all carry eternal weight. And do you know, when you live this way, you are not only storing up for yourself an imperishable reward, but you are becoming part of the restoration I am unfolding on this earth. You become a mirror reflecting my light, a living testimony among a generation that is forgetting the true purpose of life. So then, my child, live as one who knows where they are going. Live as one preparing to meet their Father. Live as one who understands that what you do today will be inscribed into the story of eternity. And let every passing day not be a mere repetition, but a step closer to glory. I do not want you to live in fear, nor do I want you to live under the weight of shame. I only desire that you live with a heart ignited by truth, by love, and by hope, because I know this to be true. If you live for what is eternal, then even if you lose everything in this world, you have lost nothing at all. But if you live only for what is fleeting, then even if the whole world rests in your hands, you will still stand empty before my throne. Let your life become an eternal song, rising from the earth to the heavens. Let your heart not be lulled to sleep by temporary comforts, but be awakened by the call of heaven. And remember this, I am always by your side, walking with you. watching over you, and preparing for you a place that no eye has seen, no ear has heard, but which I have reserved for those who love and remain faithful to me. I am waiting for you. I believe in you, and I long to see you come before me, not with empty hands, but with a life invested in that which will never pass away, because you are my treasure, because you were born for eternity, and because I love you with a love that never fades. My beloved child, in a world that constantly urges you to grasp, to store up, and to cling to what is seen, I am calling you to live with a vision that pierces beyond the veil of the present. I want you to learn to release what is perishable in order to embrace what is everlasting, because your true inheritance is not found in where you live, nor in the house you've built, nor even in the fruits of your labor. Your real inheritance is waiting for you in heaven, a glorious place that cannot decay, cannot be stolen, and cannot be swept away by time. My child, I know this is not easy. To live in the world yet remain unattached to it is a profound challenge. This world is skilled at making you forget the reality of eternity. It paints illusions in dazzling colors, parading before your eyes the things that seem too tempting to refuse: fame, fortune, recognition, safety, and comfort. It convinces you that if you lose those things, you will have nothing left. But, my child, that is a lie, because everything you possess here is temporary, a mist, a breath, a blink in the current of forever. If you cling tightly to them, your heart will be bound. But if you let go and trust, you will step into a life of freedom and true meaning. What I want to teach you is this: when you know where your true treasure lies, you will no longer feel the need to grasp at lesser things. When you understand that your eternal home is waiting a place where my presence outshines the sun, then all the good things of this earth will pale in comparison. That home is not just a resting place, but the fullness of all things. It is not merely a reward after long days of toil, but the beginning of a new life, one filled with unshakable peace and radiant light. There, you will no longer be bound by time. There will be no more tears, no more pain, no more misunderstanding, no more long nights of silent battles with burdens no one sees. There, you will walk in perfect communion with me, a communion this world can only dimly reflect. You will hear my voice more clearly than ever before. You will see my eyes, and you will know you were never abandoned, never forgotten. The joy of being near me will surpass every feeling you've ever known. It will not be a fleeting thrill of dreams achieved. It will not be the temporary high of praise or success. It will be a river of eternal delight, flowing from the very source of life, from the loving and holy heart of the one who created you. It will be a deep satisfaction that nothing in this world could ever fulfill. It will be true rest for your soul where there is no more striving, no more anxiety, no more yearning for in me. You will have everything. So, my child, live as one preparing to return home. Hold lightly to the things of this world. Do not let them consume your heart. Use all that you have today, your time, your strength, your talents, your resources as tools to serve what is eternal. When you know where you are going, you will know how to live. When your heart is set on heaven, the way you love, forgive, and sacrifice will be transformed. You will no longer live for the applause of others, but to bring joy to your Father. You will no longer fear loss, because you will know that nothing done in love will ever be forgotten in heaven. See life as a journey, not a destination. Let every trial be a step closer to my house. Let hardships refine you into the image of Christ, so that when you arrive, I can say, "My child, you have lived in a way that brought me great delight." And my child, I know you are weary. There are days when your heart feels heavy with things no one sees. There are moments you look to the sky and wonder, is heaven even real? Or just a comfort to help me endure this life? But I tell you the truth, that place is more real than anything you see now. And I, the one speaking to you now, am the one who created that heaven just for you, not for someone else, not for perfect souls, but for those who believe, who love, and who never stop longing to be close to me. So keep walking. Be brave enough to refuse the temporary in order to live for the eternal. Keep your heart soft and pure. Walk in faith even when your eyes do not yet see. For I am preparing a place for you, a city where there is no night. A homeland where every holy dream will be fulfilled. A home where my light floods every corner, and where you will dwell with me forever. I love you, and I am still waiting for your return, not with empty hands, but with a heart full of eternal things. Because you do not belong to this world, you belong to me. And where you truly belong is a place with no end, where love never fades. That home is waiting for you, shining brighter than the sun, and I will always be there, arms open wide to welcome you home, my beloved child. In a world full of temptation, illusion, and constant change, I am calling you to live with a vision that transcends what the eyes can see and the ears can hear. Because, my child, this world is not your home, though you live, work, love, and endure within it. Your soul was never made to belong to it. You are a traveler, a sojourner, passing through these fleeting lands on your way to a far greater homeland, an eternal homeland where I wait for you with open arms. I know there are days when you're swept up in the noise of life, pulled in every direction by duty, expectation, and fear. There are moments you forget where you are going, moments when you lose sight that you are only passing through, that you were not created to put down roots here, but to aim your heart toward something far greater and unshakably enduring. But I remind you today, live with the awareness that all you see towering buildings, coins in your hand, the sound of applause, the fame or the forgottenness means nothing unless it connects you to eternity. And while you are still present in this earthly realm, my child, I have entrusted to you a sacred mission. You are not here by accident. Every breath you take is a divine confirmation that your life still carries purpose, one that is yet to be fulfilled. You are not merely passing through, you are an ambassador. You have been chosen by me to represent the kingdom that is not of this world, yet is quietly expanding in every heart that yields to true love. I have placed you here to testify to the light in the midst of darkness, to call the wandering souls back to where they truly belong. My child, how many are journeying through life unaware that they are walking in the wrong direction? How many souls are chasing wealth, fame, and power only to discover at the end that everything they've held tightly cannot save them from the inner emptiness eating away at their soul? How many have traded eternal life for a moment of fleeting comfort, for a place in the eyes of men, for a brief spotlight of applause? And I do not desire that you become one of them. I do not wish to see you reach the end of your days with empty hands, blurred vision from regret, and a heavy heart weighed down by having invested your whole life in what will one day decay. Remember the parable of the rich fool, the one who stored up barns full of grain, thinking himself secure and satisfied. But in one night, his soul was required of him, and all he built became meaningless. I do not warn you to frighten you, but to awaken you. For every passing day is a step closer to eternity, and the choice you make today will echo forever in the realm beyond time. What will you choose? The fleeting glory of man, or the reward that can never be taken? Temporary ease, or eternal rest in me? You are free to choose, and I honor that freedom. But I also remind you, the consequence of that choice is eternal. Every decision, every attitude, every action and word you offer today is shaping the path your soul will walk in eternity. Do not live as though you have an entire lifetime ahead. Do not postpone living for what matters. The time is now. Today is the day, for no one knows if tomorrow will still come. Let not your heart be swallowed up by the cares of this world. Rule over what you possess, rather than letting your possessions rule over you. Do not allow your soul to be chained by fear of loss or the hunger for more. For when you cling too tightly to what will pass away, you miss the chance to embrace what is everlasting. Live as one who knows where they are going. Walk with a light heart, eyes lifted toward heaven, and hands wide open to share, to love, and to lead others on this path with you. I do not promise that this journey will be easy. As a sojourner, there will be times you grow weary, times you feel alone, times when you feel as though you're swimming upstream. But this I do promise, you will never walk alone. With every step you take, I walk beside you. Every moment you feel like giving up, I am the one lifting you up. Every tear you shed for choosing what is right, I gather each one and transform it into a glory that will never fade on that final day. My beloved child, your true homeland is waiting, a place with no goodbyes, no deception, no pain, a place where love is the only law, and my presence is the eternal light that never dims. And I long for every day of your life on earth to be a preparation, a proclamation, a spark of hope to this world that says, there is another way, another home, and one who is waiting for all who choose him. Live as a traveler. Live as my ambassador. Live as a light that cannot be hidden. And when your journey is complete, when you cross the threshold of eternity, I will welcome you with a radiant smile and say, well done, my faithful and wise child. You did not live in vain. Now, enter into the joy that never fades in your Father's house. For you do not belong to this world. You belong to me, and I love you with an everlasting love that never changes. My beloved child, in a world where many chase fleeting accomplishments, where a person's value is measured by the wealth, power, and fame they accumulate, I invite you to pause, to lift your eyes, and ask yourself, what will remain in the end? On the day you stand before me, when your soul is ushered into the light of eternal truth, everything you once held in your hands will become meaningless if it was not tied to love, to obedience, and to the eternal purpose I planted in you from the beginning. I do not say this to make you afraid, but to help you live with holy clarity. Because what matters most is not how much you have achieved in the eyes of men, but what you have done with the gift of life I gave you. Did you live for my glory? Did you use each day to serve my kingdom, where love is the only law and truth is the unshakable foundation? Did you walk faithfully in the calling I placed upon your life, regardless of where you were, what you were doing, and whether anyone ever acknowledged it? On the final day, what you own will not testify for you. Your house, your bank account, your reputation, all of it will stay behind. but your faithfulness, your silent labor, your acts of love, your choice of truth even when it cost you, your prayers whispered in the dark, those are the things remembered in heaven. That is the true inheritance you are building in your Father's house, and no power can ever take it away from you. So, my beloved child, lift up your eyes. Do not let your gaze remain fixed on the ground on worries, calculations, or material ambitions. Look toward your Father's house where an inheritance that cannot be corrupted, stained, or faded is waiting for you. A place where light never goes out and my presence fills every space so completely that there is no room for darkness or loneliness. That place is not a dream, it is eternal reality, prepared for those who know how to live beyond the limits of the present moment. This very vision, the vision of eternity, will be the fire that compels you to live a life of divine purpose. When you know where you are going, you will know how to live. You will not waste your time on pursuits that bear no lasting fruit. You will not let your mind be consumed by comparisons, envy, or the voices that cause you to doubt your worth. Instead, you will walk with peace, with focus, with deep joy, because you know every step carries eternal significance. Work not just for wages, status, or achievement, but because you serve the one who sees your heart. Serve not out of duty or desire for recognition, but because the love in you is too abundant not to be given away. Live with a heart tender to the voice of the Spirit, ready to let go of what is good, to pursue what is greater, eternal values that time cannot wear down. My child, the world will keep trying to pull you in. It will tell you that you're missing out, that you need to gather more, travel farther, shine brighter. But I remind you, there is nothing on this earth worth trading for eternal life. Do not be like the rich fool who built barns but neglected his soul. Do not be the one who lives only for today, forgetting that this life is but a fleeting breath compared to the eternity that lies ahead. You were not born to chase fragile dreams, but to live for what never fades. You were not created to fill earthly storehouses, but to store up treasures in heaven, treasures that no moth can eat, no thief can steal, and no time can diminish. Those treasures are the souls you've loved, the things you've done with all your heart, the quiet obedience you've offered to me each day. So, my child, live with passion. Do not let failure or criticism extinguish the fire I placed in you. Live with gratitude, knowing you are part of a story far greater than yourself. Live like one preparing to meet your Father, not in fear, but with longing, because you know you have not lived in vain. I love you, and I believe in you. I have placed within you a calling that no one else can fulfill. And on the day you return to me, I will not ask for your trophies, but for your faithful heart. I will look into your eyes and see the light of one who lived for something greater, who loved, who served, who gave their all for a kingdom that will never end. You belong to me, and your reward is me, my presence that never departs, my life that never ends, my love that never changes. So today, my child, live with joy, with hope, and with your eyes fixed on eternity. For when you live for that, you are not only preparing yourself, you are lighting the path for many others to find their way home. And that, my beloved, is the most beautiful legacy a life can leave behind. Amen. As a child of God, you are never alone, for I am always beside you, reminding you to walk in faith and abide in my love. Follow and turn on notifications so you never miss a single word I speak from the heights of heaven. Amen.